Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back. That's right, we had a 1 week break from the season due to the Australian Grand Prix last time out. So we'll cast our minds back to 2 weeks ago in Silverstone, which was, from what I heard, a dry to wet race. Which was quite an eventful night in its own right. But we're here today. It's round 7 here of Season 3 of the Oceania Series Racing League, brought to you by Pagnian Advanced Simulations. And tonight, I'm joined by the one, Jamie JW21. Mate, how you going?
I am fantastic tonight, my friend. Looking forward to getting back into the swing of OSRL. Um, had a nice time off, I guess. I was down at the Grand Prix myself and had a very enjoyable weekend. So, looking forward to getting back into it.
Very, very nice. Yes, you were one of the lucky ones that did get to go to the Grand Prix and see it in person. I myself did not. However, I am TRL Bozza. I'm your host tonight alongside Jamie. And mate, Azerbaijan, it's a quite a tight and twisty 20 corner 6 kilometer layout.
Yes, it is. I'm expecting a couple crashes tonight. Hopefully not a lot, because we like to see some racing around here. But I'm assuming there's going to be a little bit, especially maybe through the tricky middle section and the tricky and tight turn 8.
Yes, it's definitely tight and twisty in that middle sector. Obviously, the first and last sectors are pretty much flat around here, getting up to speeds of excess of 320 kilometers an hour. The fastest lap around here, I'll just get my little track facts and stats up. The race lap record around here is set by Charles Leclerc back in 2019 for the Ferrari with a 143.009, which we will be seeing.
We'll be beating that tonight.
Yeah, yes, definitely. But we'll go through our grid for tonight. I'll just pull that up here in the cheeky Discord. So we have Rolling Thunder, and he will be partnered up with, in the Mercedes, by Matty Ross Watson. So that is your Mercedes lineup. In the Ferraris we have Craig Maloney, I believe. I'm not sure who that is. And he'll be alongside Izzy Bro in the Ferrari. In the Red Bulls we have White Cake, and it's not Striker. He is in the wrong car. It will be Jack B. In the McLarens we will have Red Bull Moose and Noodle and Marble. In the Aston Martins we have Grimes and Coolboy. In the Alfa Romeos we have Cheap Trick Simo and Juno Barabren. Actually, my mistake. It is Jaddy83 filling in for Juno Barabren tonight in that Alfa Romeo. In the Alpines we have Skidor Peak and Maniac. In the Williams, let's see, we have that. It's not that Tough Chef. It is that Tough Chef and Argo. Argo 55 in the other Williams. In the Haas we have iCross G and QV Tuxi, and in the Alpha Tauris, my boys, Striker and Jace F1, rounding off your grid for tonight. And expect to see some carnage around this tight, twisty 6 kilometer circuit, as you said before, Jamie. And this place is no. The safety cars. The safety cars are a normality around here.
They are indeed. And I'd just like to point out as well, we have the softest tyres for tonight in the Pirelli range. We've got the C5, the C4 and the C3. Normally very durable around this 6 kilometer circuit, so most people will be expecting to do the one stopper tonight. If there is, but there is obviously, of course, like you said, a high probability of that safety car being deployed, so there could be other people doing a 2-stop or a 3-stop depending on the weather maybe as well, and the situations that arise, especially with damage.
Yeah, we hope to not see too many front wings fly, but yes, safety cars definitely throw strategy around, as well as weather as well, as you said, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see what strategies do play out and see what weather we do get cast upon us tonight for this Tier 4 competition. So we should be getting underway very shortly as we're just waiting on one driver, I think. Not too sure if we're missing one or if we need to get Grandson Nips in his Red Bull. I think he's just got in his Red Bull, he has. So we are waiting on one more driver. So we'll actually run through some standings while we're waiting. So we'll run through the drivers. We have Striker on top, my boy in the AlphaTauri, doing me proud. And he's level on points at the top with Coolboy in the Aston Martin on 122 points apiece. Bill's Battlers 21 points behind in third on 101. iCross Stew sitting in fourth place on 97. He's in a battle with Skidor Peak in the Alpine on 96 points in fifth. And that's the other Alpine of Maniac on 84 points in sixth. And then it's a pair of Red Bulls, Grandson Nips on 79 points and Quiet Cake just behind him on 77. Red Bull Moose sits just outside the 8 in ninth on 67 points with Juna Barabren on 63 points in 10th, rounding out the top 10. Then it's a pair of Mercedes in 11th and 12th for Amin, ahead of Roland Thunder 61 and 55 points apiece, with Noodle and Marble bringing up P13 on 38 points. And that's the first Ferrari of Woofer down in 14th on 36 points, and Kiwi Asbro in 15th on 35 points. Jace F1 in the second AlphaTauri 16th on 29 points. Baz sitting in 17th on 24 points. It's Not Matchy also sharing that 24 point mark in 18th, with Cheap Trick on 12 points in P19 and QV Tuxi rounding out the top 20 on 12 points, with That's Tough Chef just behind him in 21st on 11 points. So there is your drivers' standings. And we'll move over to the constructors' standings as we're still waiting on that one driver. So currently, as it stands, it's Alpine in the top spot on 602 points, with the Ferraris close behind on 575 points. Just behind them is the McLaren squad on 561 points, with the AlphaTauris sitting just outside the top 3 on 535 points. Then it's the Williams in 5th on 475 points. A little bit of a breakaway there, with the Mercedes in P6 on 468. The Alfa Romeo in P7 on 447. Aston Martin P8 439. Red Bull in P9 on 436 points, and Haas rounds out the 10 on 368 points. So a nice little battle pack there between 5th and 9th. Only what's that? 39 points separating just about half the grid. So that's your standings, and we should be going soon. I think I've just got the all clear. I think we're waiting on That's Tough Chef, so it's
Alright.
he normally does have a little bit of internet issues, but he normally gets it sorted out, so we'll just hold on a little bit longer. But we'll say hello to everyone in the chat. Hope you've had a great day, and hope you're having a great night. I mean, you can't go wrong with some T4 action, can you, Jamie?
Can't, because I've definitely watched every race this season and definitely known who's gonna be on form. So yeah, I'm going into this with no previous knowledge of Tier 4 and its drivers, so I do apologise to any seasoned Tier 4 viewers out there. But I may get some stuff wrong tonight. I may pronounce some name wrong, so I do apologise in advance.
I'm in the exact same boat as you. This is my first time commentating Tier 4 competition for Season 3. I'm normally Tier 3 with Sandeezy, but Venti is absent tonight as his flight got delayed. Or cancelled should I say. His flight back to back home. So that is why Venti could not make it tonight, and it is myself and Jamie taking the reins for Tier 4 in the OSRL Series Racing League. Brought to you by Pagnian Advanced Simulations. Which is... that's big. I still can't get over we've got that. That's huge. It's been a while, but...
we had that, to be honest.
It's been a while,
no
but...
offense to them, but I'm sure they're great people, but I've never really heard of them, unfortunately. But yep, go them.
Yeah, if you need anything sim racing in that sim racing area, pop into I think the shop's called Next Level Racing, up on the Gold Coast area, and let them know you're from the OSRL Series Racing League, and I'm sure they'll give you the best customer service possible. And use the cheeky code at the checkout to get a cheeky 5% off on your next purchase. But
wish we would have had that when I bought my chair, because it's from Next Level Racing.
Ooh, there you go. So
but, I don't think we bought it through them. I think we bought it off a third-party website. So, but totally recommend. They're great chairs. Mine served me well over these past couple of years, especially during the old pandemic and or pandemic, not plandemic. I don't know why I added the L there, but you know what I mean.
Well, there you go. You've heard it here first. Someone who's got a next level product themselves, who is very, very happy with what he's got. Still waiting on that stuffed chef. We may have to get a late ring in. So, not too sure. Just check the Discord, see what's happening. IT Jed can't make it, he's around Ferrari. Yeah. Hello, Moosey. How you doing, mate? A few more minutes? Too easy, mate. So, we're just waiting a couple more minutes, giving that stuffed chef adequate time. And then we should be right to go. But, yeah. Just waiting on that stuffed chef. So, too sure. Goes. Well, while we're waiting, we'll talk about the Grand Prix.
I was about to bring that up, to be honest. I was just scrolling through my photos, seeing some videos I took on Friday and Saturday. Because I didn't take any on Sunday because I actually didn't go to the track on Sunday for the Grand Prix. I have very high anxiety, and so leaving the track on Saturday got me really terrified because like there were so many people, and I don't deal well with large crowds, especially in enclosed spaces like the bridges over the circuit and the tunnel going to the trams at Gate 2. If you went through Gate 2 at the Grand Prix, anyone watching, you'll know what I mean. It was horrible to get back to the city. So we skipped the Sunday. I mean, I didn't mind. My dad didn't mind either because he was really only down for the V8s. He didn't actually care about the F1. But so he'd seen all the V8s he really wanted to see, and then so we just watched the Grand Prix in the hotel. But you know, seeing F1 cars in the flesh for the first time, definitely nice, a very pleasant experience, and I definitely recommend going to the Grand Prix when it comes back to town. But I definitely think they need to either make the spaces bigger for the Grand Prix somehow, or reduce the crowd, because I think there was just too many people there this year, and the systems put in place couldn't handle the amount of people there, I think.
I think we were. I think it was just shy of 420,000 over the weekend,
Yeah, it was
which
419,000 over the weekend,
is
and
huge.
apparently it's one of the largest, if not the largest, sporting event in Australian history.
Yes, yeah, I think it is. I did read somewhere that it was the largest crowd for any sporting event in Australia.
But
So,
then there was also reports that apparently I think it was the 1995 Adelaide Grand Prix had 500,000 over the weekend, but I don't know how true they are.
geez, that's a lot of people. That is a lot of people.
Yeah,
Like,
so
fu- that'd be 500,000 over the course of a weekend. So,
yeah, not in a single day.
averaging, well, what would that be? over 150,000 a day.
Especially at
That's
Adelaide.
yeah, yeah. Adelaide being a little bit smaller than Melbourne, so
Mm, yeah,
yeah,
but I definitely think they need to make the crowds smaller next year because there was definitely way too many people. And if
yeah.
I'm planning on going back next year, and if I do, I'm not going unless I get a grandstand ticket. Like, if I don't get a grandstand ticket, I ain't going down because, like, I did general admission this year, and seriously, you would sit on the top of the tallest hill at the track, and you'd still have to stand up over people to watch any of the action when it was
Wow,
on. So
wow.
it wasn't the nicest experience, but we've done it once, and we won't do it again, hopefully.
The main thing is you got to see them in the flesh, and you know, being able to do that, it's definitely something that I've got on my bucket list to knock off before,
Yeah.
obviously, before the end of everything.
If 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 you are planning on going to the Grand Prix, and I know Melbourne would probably be cheaper for especially you living in South or being from South Australia. I definitely think if you can try and go to Singapore before Melbourne, because I feel
Ooh.
like Singapore would actually be a better Grand Prix to go to than the Australian GP. Even though it's in a different country, I still think it'd just be better. But obviously Melbourne's closer, and it's like a 55-minute flight rather than an 8-hour flight away. So like, obviously Melbourne would probably be easier, but definitely Singapore is a Grand Prix on my bucket list, and I'm looking to go to. Not this year because it's already too late to get flights there and like things, but maybe next year.
One that I'd really like to go to, I think, and I think would be quite good, would be Monza. I'd like to see Monza in person, and
Yes,
being
Monza
able
would
to
be a very good one.
experience that Tifosi energy that Ferrari have, um,
Yeah,
and just being able to feel that atmosphere that it all provides. So that's definitely on my
yeah,
bucket list. But I'd love to be able to go to Melbourne and see them in person, and get up close and personal with the cars, and just be able to bear witness to it through my own two eyes. So,
yeah.
still waiting on That's Tough Chef. We haven't been told to get a ring in yet. So, there's been a little bit of a hold up, but we are just waiting. Yeah, Ferrari. Ferrari just had so much pace over the weekend.
It was
They
crazy.
they were insane. 70 seconds.
Thoughts on the Alex Albon drive at the Australian Grand Prix?
What was it? Last to points.
Yeah, started 20th, got disqualified in quali, then did he did the whole race on the hards, pit on the 57th lap, put on the softs, blasted around the track once on the softs and got points, or got a point.
Yeah, it's that is an extraordinary stint on those tyres. 57 laps on those tyres. That is incredible.
Yeah, and people are just like making jokes saying, rumor has it Alex Albon's still lapping Albert Park on those tyres.
Well, I'm surprised it didn't explode given the deg that we were seeing on the soft tyres. Because it was quite an abrasive new surface.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm all for the new track changes that they made.
Well, someone on Reddit did the math, like, in 2017, except for pit lane overtakes, drivers going wide, and cars having failures and stuff, there was a total of 2 on-track overtakes at the Oz GP, right? In 2018, with the same methods, there was 5. In 2019, there was 12. And in 2022, there was 35. So,
Yeah, right.
the new cars and track layout have definitely improved the racing spectacle slightly, but I don't think it was as much as people were expecting. Anyway, last driver's here, so it's time to go.
Yes, we are getting ready to go here. It's a bit of a later start due to waiting for a driver, but he's in. That's what matters. We're ready to go racing. We've been given the green light, and this is going to be a great night of racing here at the Oceania Series Racing League for the Tier 4 action with myself, TRL Bozza, and my co-commentator, Jamie JW21, which it is an absolute pleasure to be sharing the box alongside.
Yes, I hope it is.
Now we get to see whether there's going to be any weather playing a part in qualifying. So
I wish you could see the weather for the race as a spectator, but alas, we can't unless someone tells us. But you know, it is what it is. Makes more suspense for us, and I mean, we could probably tell anyway if people don't use the mediums in Q2. But again, around this track, I don't think that really makes a difference. So I don't think people will do it anyway. So it's a bit interesting.
yeah, I actually think the undercut is quite powerful around here as well. So starting on that soft tyre, I feel the soft medium is going to be the faster strategy if no safety cars play a part, opposed to the medium soft. But you do have that absolutely humongous 1 kilometre straight with the DRS to make your overtakes, and we have bright sunshine here in Azerbaijan, in the streets of Baku.
I would, again, just going a little bit off topic here, but I definitely think Azerbaijan would be an awesome Grand Prix to attend as well.
I think so. I think it would.
I reckon it'd be very good to.
And we've got a weather report. It's all sunshine and rainbows.
Oh no.
And we have a car.
2 actually.
Yeah.
Both Astons out straight away.
Both Aston Martins, and it will be Coolboy that's out first at the moment, with his teammate Grimes just behind him.
Holy crap! So this is the first time I've seen my F1 game in 4K, because I haven't been able to use it on my monitor yet. It looks amazing.
It's definitely a pretty game, that's for sure, but it has had its fair share of bugs. Hopefully we have a bug-free session tonight to
There's an Alpha already off. Cheap Trick 60 down the escape road.
Ooh,
I think he's made it out without damage, but he's definitely cost himself a bucket of time, so that's not going to help his qualifying cause.
Possibly put some extra wear on those tyres as well.
That true.
Obviously, tyre wear not all that big around here. On the soft tyre, it's definitely a lot worse, about I think it's 6 to 7% per lap on the soft tyre, as opposed to 4 to 5 on the medium tyre.
Oh.
So medium tyre is definitely the better race tyre. But we've got Coolboy here coming down that 1 kilometre main straight, about to open the DRS, and I'll let you, Jamie, take us for a lap of the Baku Street Circuit.
Well, you definitely got to pick your braking point for turn 1 easily. Very easy to lock up. I personally use third gear and then upshifting to fourth through the corner. He's done a similar thing, but he hasn't upshifted, so it doesn't really affect you that much. It's just my personal preference. Turn 2 now, braking very late as well. Open up the DRS straight away. You want to basically try and minimize the length of this straight by keeping it in a straight line. This gives you more straight line speed and then more lap time. Braking at 100 meter board now. Turn 3, third gear. Now, there's a very short run to turn 4 down here, and then you've got the fast left-right, well, not really fast left-right, but the left-right chicane here that trips people up, especially if you hit that inside curb on the right-hander too much as well. He's made it through there as well. Now into the tricky middle section of the circuit. This tightens up very wide, very difficult to run too wide here. Very easy to hit the wall through turn 8, the castle section. He's hit the wall, he's lost a bit of his front wing, I believe, and that's basically ruined his lap. He's gone wide as well. Lucky to not invalidate that lap time. That is a very lucky boy there. As down into the fast section now, this is where the downforce doesn't matter. You can kind of go on that inside curb slightly, but not really by very much. Now this is where I'd like to sit if I did come down to this track into these grandstands. I reckon that'd be a great vantage point. He's got a purple middle sector. It definitely isn't the first one to set a lap time. As we now come down this 2 kilometre long, is it 2 or 1 kilometre long back straight that you mentioned earlier?
1 kilometre.
Opening up the DRS right about now, which then gives him that extra speed boost, and he's going to come down to the line, sticking to the right hand side. People stick to the left, I don't really know if it makes a difference, and he sets a 1:41.356. The first competitive lap time here, as Maniac 90 goes second, half a second off, as Grandson Nips goes fastest.
Yep, Grandson Nips 140.9. He's proved to be quite quick in qualifying in this tier 4 competition. We've got iCross U and a car ahead of him, possibly. Yep. iCross U 39.6. So iCross U on the money already. So, and I forgot to mention, Red Bull Moose and Matty Ross Watson, I believe, have qualifying bans for tonight. So the McLaren and the Mercedes drivers. Argo puts himself up in a P6 on 143.7. We have an Alfa Romeo coming up next. That is Jaddy 83, the reserve in that Alfa Romeo, as he opens DRS. Yes, he did pull in the pits, Moose. Jaddy up into P4, 141.5. So we'll see who's the next car. I believe it's Izzy Bro. He's coming through the left and right of 18 and 19. And now through 20. Absolutely flat down this 1 kilometre main stretch of tarmac. Baku Street Circuit. And he goes up into P6. Knocks Noodle and Marble down one on a 142.9. So go down to...
Still only half the field have set a lap time though, so we've still got a lot of them left to set a lap. Rolling Thunder has pressed on for a second lap. He's currently up by 8/10. So see where this puts him. He's currently 8/10 off the next car, so this could elevate him up the order a little bit. He sets a 1:44.1. He doesn't improve his position, but he improves his lap time by 7/10 of a second.
So back-to-back runs. It is possible around here, although you will have to overfuel the car with enough fuel to do that back-to-back push and have enough fuel to get back to the pit lane. And we are keeping an eye on Matty Ross Watson, as he does have a qualifying ban, as Skiddaw Peak makes his way onto the main straight with the fast chicane in the middle. In the Alpine is Skiddaw Peak, the leading constructor after 6 rounds of Season 3. Opens letterbox rear wing, 8th gear, over 200 miles an hour, and he goes just behind his teammate on 142.3, and then we've got Grimes coming to the line to set his first valid time. It's 142.5, which is good enough for P8. And then we've got a Ferrari, I believe. Is that Izzy Bro? It is Izzy Bro. He's up by... Oh, and he lost time in that last sector. He's gone dead even with his time. And there is a Mercedes. That is Matty Ross Watson, who does have a qualifying ban, so he will need to pull into the pits.
No, he's going to settle that.
Oh, okay. So Matty Ross Watson does have a qualifying ban. So not sure what's going on there. Rolling Thunder is on an in-lap. We have an Alfa Romeo of Cheap Trick who is on an in-lap. So it's not meant to use starting a lap. White Cake starting a lap. It's the Alpine of Skiddaw Peak. Not sure if he's going again. It looks like he is, as he's come across the second sector split. He's up by 6.5 tenths, Jamie. This is a big lap from Skiddaw Peak, and it's going to put him up around P4, so it's going to move him up around a couple spots if he can find a little bit more time in this last sector. But he's low on ERS, and that is going to hurt him down this 1 kilometer straight.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have that extra 120 brake horsepower. And he still goes ahead of his teammate, although he did lose a little bit of time as expected in that last sector. Goes to a 41.7. There's a Haas of QV Tuxi, I believe. He's coming around to set his first valid lap time in the Haas. And his first time is a 140.4, which puts him P2, just behind his teammate on a 140.4. And that's some 8 tenths behind his teammate. iCross Stew has set an absolute banger of a lap time there. And Matty Ross Watson...
Here comes...
He do. He has P4 on a 40.9, but he does have a qualifying ban. So I have seen people in the past disqualify themselves to start at the very back. Ooh, it's Quiet Cake. Gives the wall a bit of a clattering. So I'm not sure if he's got any damage. So he definitely looked very, very close to the wall.
Looks like he does, considering he's lifting through here, but you never know.
I know this circuit is known for that annoying lime green damage that doesn't pop up on your MFD. So it's definitely something that's very annoying, but obviously it's all part of avoiding the walls, I guess, and it's all part of a street circuit. Got one of the AlphaTauris, the Striker, just starting a lap. Your championship leader, your joint championship leader, should I say? So
Field.
Tuxi's on an in. Who do we have? Who's that Ferrari? It's Izzy Bro, who's up by 8 tenths of a second. Can he find any more time? But again, low on ERS. So he's gone for a back-to-back push. And he's found more time. And he's gone to P9 with a 141.9. And that's Tough Chef has crashed in the castle section. Just there. There's an AlphaTauri coming up to that section. It is Jace. And it has been cleared. So there we go. The castle claims its first victim in That's Tough Chef.
Jace is gonna need to get out of the way of his teammate in a minute here, unless they're in a party planning a tow down the main straight, in which case that'd be very sneaky of them. But Striker's coming up to his teammate, and he'd definitely prefer him to get out of the way.
He's definitely got a big enough gap to not give his teammate dirty air. And he does get out of
He's
the
let him
way.
pass though.
So
As the
Striker makes his
Softa's now
way.
retired in the pit lane, the two Haas's feeling like they've done all they need to do to get through, which is fair enough considering they're first and second, but you don't really know, especially with your championship leader down in 20th. Quiet Cake sticks out of the way of Striker as he runs down the back straight now. DRS Open reaching speeds of 326 kilometers an hour as he crosses the line and goes P3 with 40.7. Still 9/10 off across to you. So that Haas across you looking very, very fast. Let's
Yeah,
see
the
what
Haas car. Well, both Haas cars looking very quick.
Striker can do in the other AlphaTauri. Maybe he gets the slipstream this time. Who knows?
Yeah, that's it. And the toe is worth a lot around here with that massive main straight. If you can get it absolutely perfect, I think it's worth about 2 or 3 tenths of a second. If I'm not mistaken. So if you can pull it off, then it is absolutely worth its weight in gold. But we got It's Not Me, It's You coming through. He was 1.1 seconds up at the second sector split. But look at his battery levels, down to almost 0%. So he's going to absolutely struggle down this main straight. He's going to lose a heap of time. And he still improves by a second, but I think that's kept him in P13. So there we go, Rolling Thunder. He's on and in. And we got Jace F1. He's the next car down the road. He's just coming through this. He's just started the last sector and the run down to the line. He comes through turns 18, 19 and 20. And that little chicane, if you don't have a stable setup, it can cause you grief with the heavy fuel load. As he opens the rear wing up to the line. What does Jace set for his first time? It's good enough for P13. It's a 42.818. We have the who is that? That was Cool Boy. Did a 40.027. So Grimes now. He's gone purple to the middle sector. Lit that sector up in the majestic magenta. But can he hold that to the line? And to answer your question from before, Flourish, it is Jamie JW21. So his first time in the box for OSRL.
Hello.
And it's an absolute pleasure to have him alongside.
Yes. I'm enjoying my time here.
And it's our first. It's both of our first times commentating a Tier 4 competition. So full of firsts here.
Yes.
I'm not sure. Jace has gone again. He's about 2.5 tenths up, coming out of the castle section. And into this tricky corner, you sort of flick it slightly right and then swing it left. What will happen with Matt if he doesn't disqualify himself? I believe it moves to the next round. I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe it goes to the next round.
But I believe people can also report him for not serving his quality ban, and he can get additional license points and then end up with a race ban.
I'm not too sure. We'll have to leave that one with the stewards. Here comes Jace. He pops himself up one position into T12 on a 42.3. T3, we got 39s on the medium in Q2. There's a bit of an update. Tier 3 are into the 139s in qualifying 2 on the medium compound tyre. So, looking very quick over there in the Tier 3 competition. They are live on the OSRL Esports Twitch stream, so make your way over there if you want to pop your head in, say hi to Sandeezy and Mr. Fury Strat. They are on the comms over there for tonight. Miss Fury Strat filling in for myself, who is filling in for Venti. Thank you for the update, Buster. Keep them coming, lad. We appreciate it greatly. So, yes, go check out that Tier 3 stream. Ooh, that's an Alpine. What's happened there, Maniac? Gone straight on at that awkward chicane down at 5 and 6. So it's, what's the word for it?
Difficult?
It's a corner that invites you in, as Noodle and Marble crashes through the castle section on the exit of the castle section. Oh, and he's lost on the exit. And he's
As
gone
Matty
head.
Ross Watson has disqualified himself.
There we go. So that solves that issue. So, yeah, Noodle and Marble dropping it on the exit under power and nosing first into the wall as Maniac invalidates on his outlap. However, we do have Grimes. Grimes is on... Don't think he's on a push. That battery is not depleting.
The frickin' yellow flags on the track. It's so annoying because you can't see the timer. Okay, we've got 10 seconds left in this session. Looks like a quiet cake is done. Cheap Trick will not get another lap in. Rolling Thunder will not. So these are their final laps of the session here. Rolling Thunder needs to improve by 0.6 of a second in order to try and elevate himself into qualifying 2. But he looks to be coming. He is coming in the pit, so he's done. Aggro is done. Cheap Trick looks to improve his time. He doesn't make a difference. Quiet Cake is safe, so everyone is safe at the bottom there. So that is your 5 being eliminated is Argo 5-5, Twitch, Roland Thunder, That's Tough Chef are your 3 who've actually been able to qualify. Red Bull Moose 1 and Matty Ross Watson both had quali bans, so they were last anyway. So that is Q1, and we look forward to Q2.
Yeah, the Q1 done and dusted. That absolutely flew by. So much going on track. A couple of unfortunate victims of the castle section in Noodle and Marble, and That's Tough Chef, and I would assume that we're going to see more come the race and the latter parts of the qualifying session when these drivers push the absolute limits in qualifying 3 to get the absolute most out of the track. As we wait for Maniac to cross the line, the last one to cross the line. He is safe. So I crossed you, setting the benchmark here in qualifying 1 as Maniac pulls into the pit lane and is safely through to the next session. So into the 139s already in Q1. But as we said, in Tier 3 they're doing 39s on the medium tyres. So we will wait and see which cars prefer what strategy. And we're just waiting for Maniac to be wheeled into the pit lane or into his garage. What a session. So here we go. So I crossed you. At the top of qualifying 1, it's early doors, but looking ominous there for the Haas driver. Coolboy second with a 140.0. Not able to crack the 39s yet. And QV Tuxie in the second Haas rounds out your top 3 on 140.4. And we'll scroll down to the bottom of the timing sheets, and we'll only have 14 in Q2. But Matty Ross Watson and Red Bull Moose, obviously with their qualifying bans, have been knocked out. That's Tough Chef, who crashed heavily in the castle section, unable to set a time. Rolling Thunder in 17th, Argo 55 in 16th, and Noodle and Marble crashing heavily also in the castle section is also knocked out. So we lose 6 cars out of that qualifying 1 session as we make our way into qualifying 2, the strategy session, as I like to call it. So we get into qualifying 2, and this is where the pace starts to amp up. And as we wait for the cars to come out of the garage, I would like to say hello to everyone in the chat. We appreciate you so much for sticking around and supporting the channel. Obviously, having two streams going on a Tuesday night, it's not an easy thing to do, but the admins back in, behind closed doors, they've done a fantastic job organising it all and allowing us to be able to have two tiers on the one night. Of course, we have tier 2 on the Wednesday night. The tomorrow night is tier 2 action, and you'll be joined by, I believe it is Red Bull Moose and Sandeezy tomorrow night, and tier 1 competition on Thursday night.
Which me and you are involved in.
Yeah,
On tier
that we
1.
are. We will be
Trying to
dueling
back
it
up
out
my
on track.
win last season.
Yes.
Back up my win last season with another win. Last season, the Azerbaijan was probably one of the most craziest races, not only because I won, but because it was just a bit crazy in it. There was a lot of stuff happening. Rained at the end.
It's always crazy here
had
at
a bit of everything.
Azerbaijan.
So,
yeah, it's
but
just
getting back to tonight's racing action, we currently have 4 drivers on the medium compound tyres, and it turns out there's only 14 cars in this session. Because one of them crashed in the last session, so their car is unable to compete in this one. So he's sitting out, the McLaren, I believe,
yes.
that made it through.
Noodle and Marp crashed heavily in the castle section.
Yes, but we have Cool Boy, Striker, Izzy Bro, I didn't even know he was in here, to be honest. I didn't even see him last session, and Grimes, all on the mediums.
So a few guys trying the medium compound tyres. Being a street circuit, I don't think there's much difference between the soft and the medium. I think it's always about sort of 4-5 tenths, I think.
At Singapore, there's a big difference, but here,
Yes.
not really.
No, as you're going in a straight line most of the time. So.
True.
And there's not too many medium to high speed corners that you need the grip from the tyres for. Anyway, so a lot of slow speed corners, and it's also very rear limited. So the rear tyres do go off a lot quicker than the fronts. So got to be really wary under power late in your stint. As Grandson Nips exits the castle section, the historic castle section here in Azerbaijan, as he makes his way down to, I believe it's turn 16, which is notorious for lockups and going wide into the wall if you take too much curb as well. He comes onto the main straight and through 18 and 19 and 20, which is absolutely flat in these cars. No dramas for these cars. And opens the letterbox rear wing, burning up the battery over 200 miles an hour as he comes across the stripe. And he starts off with 141.3, which is a nice stable benchmark for that drop for him. Cheap Trick's the next car. What does Cheap Trick do? With a 42.4, slots himself in just behind. And we got an Aston Martin Cool Boy. He's on the medium compound tyre. He sets 141.7 on the mediums, which is a relatively good lap compared to the soft. Maniac 40.9. The other Red Bull of Quiet Cake, his first lap time 43.3. Lap times coming in thick and fast here on circuit. Grimes is going to be the next car in the Aston Martin, and then we've got a train of 3 behind him. What does Grimes do? He goes P4 on a 41.9 on the medium compound tyre. We then have Striker, he's the next car. He's on the medium compound tyre as well. He goes P4, splits to the Aston Martins, 141.9. Skidall Peak went P3. And QV Tux here, 139.6. Matches his teammate from Q1 on 39.6. What does Cross have for QV Tuxie in this session?
I'm expecting a big lap here from Cross. I'm going to ride on board with him. He's gone a bit wide through turn 1, commentator's curse, classic. Into turn 2, he's taken a lot of the curb, so he's taking a lot more curb than the others through those first 2 corners. A bit of an interesting strategy. I mean, he's clearly got the car set up to ride the curbs well, which could be a good strategy around here. I personally don't set up the car that way. I set up the car to be able to avoid the curves. That way I can have a faster car down in the top end. But whatever floats your boat, he's gone purple to sector 1 with 34.9. He's got a bit of traffic up ahead. The Ferrari needs to get out of the way here.
Oh dear,
But he
oh
isn't,
dear,
and
oh
that's
dear.
ruined his lap there.
Uh-oh.
Very poor from the Ferrari driver
It's-
of, it's not me, it's you.
Yeah.
So, Cross, you will not be very happy with that one, but as to be expected, to be honest. But, you know, it happens. So,
Here comes
he just need to
Grimes.
compose himself and set another lap.
Comes Grimes. He's gone for the back-to-back. He's improved by 4.5 tenths and goes above his teammate. He goes to 141.4. Striker is on an in-lap. Skittle Peak, he's on an in-lap. And the Ferrari of... it's not meant to you, he's on an in. Sorry, on an out. Frost is going for another lap. I would... Oh no, his fuel light's flashing, so he won't have the fuel for another lap. So we'll be bringing it into the pit lane, as is his teammate right behind him. We'll go back to Jaddy, who has invalidated his lap. Would have done a 53.6. He is going again. Quiet Cake, currently 2 tenths down, and very low on the battery. So, Quiet Cake in the Red Bull. He's backed out of it, and he's actually run out of fuel. He's actually run out of fuel. So Izzy Bro will be the next car in the Ferrari. I think they're sitting P3.
He's on the mediums as well. Izzy Bro, he is on the mediums, so we'll have to see what lap time he can pull out on this tyre, whether it be competitive with the 4th and 5th lap times of Skiddow Peak and Grimes respectively, both also on the medium tyres. Interestingly, there's only 6 thousandths between the 2 medium runners so far, so that could be interesting.
Yeah.
But as I'm looking at that, Grimes is actually the fastest medium runner because Skiddow Peak set his fastest lap time on the soft tyres. Izzy Bro goes 9th on a 142.7. So at the moment, best lap times on the mediums, or the people who set their lap times on mediums, are the 2 Astons, Striker 9, Izzy Bro, and Crossed U is currently on the mediums as well. So he's obviously going for a different strategy now that his first lap got blocked by it's not me, it's you. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see how that plays out, as Jaddy is on a final run down this straight. As it's not me, it's you goes 11th. It's out of Q3. Where does Jaddy go on his second attempt on that tyre? Goes P3 on the softs. Decent lap from him. Still 1.3 seconds off P1, but still a very good lap from the Alfa Romeo driver.
Yeah, and that's a cracking lap from Jaddy. Only what's that? So that's 9 thousandths off Maniac. So definitely capable of that front row. Obviously, we have I Crossed You as well, who's out on the medium tyres now. In the Haas. So interesting strategies being called here in qualifying 2 as QV tucks the tyres in the pit lane with 5 minutes to go in this session. Ooh, it's not me, it's you, goes very wide on the exit of the castle section and absolutely slams the wall and almost does it again, coming through that long left-hander. Oop, and he's lost a bit more, coming through 16. Jaddy, who's pushing again, and he's going to lose time. He was even with his time at that second sector split, and he has backed out of it.
Now.
So,
Crossed you will ride on board. I'll commentate his lap again as he's started his first attempt on the medium tyres. So we'll see what his first sector time is. Is he braking nice and early? His car looks to be behaving in the same manner. It looks to be on the controller though, so interesting. I don't know the split between wheel and pad on this, but he goes fastest to the first sector. That's a bit interesting, but I feel like the mediums won't start to show their disadvantage until he gets to the sector he's in now, especially with these tight corners where you need good traction. As through turn 7 and into turn 8 now, you've got to be careful not to hit that inside wall, because that'll easily send you into the left hand, or to the right hand side wall, sorry. And through the chicane now, he cuts the corners perfectly as to not get a warning and a invalidation. As through the left-hander, the double left-hander fast under the signs, it's very easy to hit the wall there, especially having a front wing. He's actually hit the wall on the right in the braking zone for the awkward left-hander, and don't think it's given him any damage to the penultimate corner now, or the penultimate proper braking zone corner. And he'd get a nice exit down this long back straight, as through the fast left-right chicane down the straight, he's home free now. All he has to do is just keep the car straight, open up the DRS, and he'll be on his way into Q3, I'm assuming, considering he had such a pace advantage over the field in last session. He goes second with a 39.996.
wow. That's quick. As it's Izzy Bro.
Right.
Izzy Bro's found his way down the escape road at turn 2. Try and get it out of there without spinning up your wheels. Good luck. As he does a 12-point turn to get out of there. Oh, that's not a great place to park up. Wow, that was not a great place. Skittle Peak is out on that medium tyre as well now. He's looking to try and beat his previous lap time. Peak's about to start his.
Bozza, I will be back momentarily. I just have some stuff I need to attend to quickly. Should be less than 5 minutes.
No dramas at all, mate. Do what you gotta do. So, we've got Cool Boy. He's on a fast lap now. Oh, and he's just grazed the wall there. Coming into the castle, and he's absolutely clattered that wall. And that has definitely taken a bit of his front wing. And that'll end his opportunity of setting a faster lap time on the soft compound tyres. The next car is Jace. Jace F1. Oh, and he's hit the wall as well. He's taken a bit too much curb. But it doesn't look to have given him any damage, as he runs very wide. Somehow he's kept that valid. Track limits obviously being a bit hit and miss tonight. So Jace up to the line, opens that DRS. Oh, pardon me. Opens DRS up to the line, and he goes P12. It's not enough. He's going to have to go back to back if he wants to have another chance. Striker goes P3 and a 140.3. Skittle Peak, what can he do? He's down on his time. What can he do in the Alpine? Coming through the final sector. And he hasn't found any time. It's a 141.7. So, unable to beat that previous lap time. Cheap Trick is the next car. He's 3 seconds down, so he'll be pulling that one into the pit lane. Quiet Cake, 6.5 tenths up in that second sector split. He's opened the rear wing, giving him that extra top end speed. Over 200 miles an hour. He goes P10. He pops himself into the 10 with a 142.0. That's a fantastic lap there from Quiet Cake to get himself into the 10. His Evo has invalidated, and he's out of fuel. So his day is done. Got Cool Boy. He's back out there. And we've hit 000. So Cool Boy, this will be their last laps of the session. Oh, Cool Boy runs very deep there at 16. And absolutely clatters the concrete barrier. And that has put an end to his Q2. So we will move to Jace F1, who is currently 3 seconds down on his Delta, so he won't be going through. Skittle Peak, excuse me, currently a 10th up on his lap time. Can he get a good exit and a good run down to the line through 18, 19 and 20 now? Keep it absolutely pinned foot to the floor. Open DRS when the line comes up. There it is. He's going to be losing some straight line speed due to that low battery. Up to the line. Can Skittle Peak do it? And he does. He goes 600ths quicker. He goes to P8. So that's him starting on that tyre. Striker into the pit lane. And I believe Quiet Cake is out of fuel. No, he's just going very slowly. So that is qualifying 2 done and dusted. And what a mix we have going into qualifying 3. As my throat is copping a beating with all these lap times coming at us thick and fast. Oh, pardon me. And no, I do not have the Rona, so you don't need to worry about that one. Right, there we go, we'll just wait for his car to be wheeled into the garage, and we'll go to the results screen and see who ended up where. You can already see where they've ended up, but yes, so we've got an interesting mix tonight for qualifying 3. And I was saying earlier before the stream, I'll go through the results first. QV Tuxie 39.6 takes top spot, so it's 1 for 1 between the Hasses. But I crossed you on that medium tyre on a 139.9, just 3 tenths off his teammate. That is going to be huge for Crossed if he can convert that pace to the race pace. And strike around at the top 3 and qualifying to 40.3 on the soft command tyre. So we lose It's Not Me, It's You and Izzy Bro, both of the Ferraris, Cheap Trick in the Alfa Romeo, and Jace F1, one of the Alpha Tauris. So that is who we lose, but I crossed you. He is looking quick. Alright, into qualifying 3. That's on top when I put it in.
I return.
Okay, Charlie. Welcome back, Jamie. I started reading a comment, and yeah, I kind of read the end of it in my head, so. It's not safe to say on stream, that's for sure. But I was just saying it's 1 for 1 between the Haas cars. But I crossed you. He is looking ominous. Only 3 tenths off, 3.5 tenths off his teammate on a 1 step harder compound. So we will see. So that means Crossed will have, I think, 2 fresh sets, 2 or 3 fresh sets. Most of the cars will only have that 1 Q3 fresh set, as I use the second set of softs in Q2 to get through into this final part of qualifying. We have both Red Bulls, both Alpines, and both Aston Martins, and both Haas cars with a AlphaTauri and an Alfa Romeo in the mix. We've got 6 constructors in qualifying 3, and it will be Cool Boy to lead us away for qualifying 3 here in Tier 4 of Season 3 of the Ocean Ice Series Racing League, brought to you by Pagnian Advanced Simulations and Juju Energy as well. So there you go. If you want to get some of their products, put in your cheeky code and get your discount. But we've got Coolboy here in the Aston Martin as he comes across the stripe to start the first lap of qualifying 3. Doesn't quite use all of the entry curb, nor does he use the apex. Runs it nice and wide on the exit, but short square up to turn 2. Just clip that curb nicely, and good traction on the exit there. That was very well done there from Coolboy. And now the long run DRS open down to turn 3. Quite tricky this one, as there is not much room for error on that apex. Oh, we had a little bit of a snap mid-exit, had to correct it, almost hit the wall. Now through turn 4, another tight right-hander, 90 degrees down into the... it's a difficult chicane this one, as it tightens right up on that right-hander of 6, sorry. As he comes down into 7 now. Quite tight through there, and very easy to cut. So now through the castle section between 8, 9 and 10 and 11. And he's taken a very nice line there, and he hasn't run it out too wide. He's definitely been a bit conservative on that exit, as he now comes through the swooping left-handers of, and then down through, that was 16. Now down to the second sector split through 17. And now he's just got 18, 19 and 20, which are completely flat. Just got to keep it, pin it to the floor, keep the car stable. Try not to use the curbs, as it can unsettle the car. And now you just wait to open the DRS. Burning the battery, burning absolutely everything you have up to the line. And it's going to be a 139.504. That's a great lap there from Coolboy. Grandson Imps does a 140.2. Skittle Peak is the next car, followed by, that would be Tuxie. So Skittle Peak 41.1, Tuxie 40.1 as well, as Grimes set to 142.2. I'm not sure if he had a mistake in that lap, but we've got iCross G. He is just starting up. I think he made a mistake on that lap, and that is why he's going to pull it into the pit lane. We'll go back to Jaddy, who looks like he's trying to get a cheeky toe from the Haas car as he makes his way into the pit lane. And Jaddy goes P5 and 141.1. Wyatt Cake's the next car, 42.5. And he keeps that P7 locked in. Maniac is the next car, I believe, or is it Coolboy? Coolboy has invalidated.
I believe it's Maniac, but he has gone wide through the castle section, so I don't think this lap time will be incredibly competitive, and he's now backing out of it. So I think that's all the laps for the first runs in qualifying 3.
Skittle Peak is going back to back in the second Albert. Ooh, a lot of curb taken there at 16. So here we go. What can Skittle Peak do? He's down by 1.1 seconds, so I think he's backed out of this one.
Yep, and Grandson Nips has run out of petroleum in his car.
So we've got Grimes in the second Aston Martin. That looked like it got very sideways out of that chicane. But he is running out of battery. He's quite low on fuel. I think he's in the pit lane. He was up by 2.5 tenths.
Yeah, but his best lap's still 1.1 seconds off P5. So
I believe
not really going to help him too much, but you know.
And Grandson Nips is on an in. Jaddy is on a lap. He's just shy of 6 tenths up, coming through that second sector split just before the final braking zone. Up to the line, improves by 4.5 tenths. Lost a couple tenths in that last sector. Still good enough for P4 on 140.6. And we'll go down to Striker, who is the next car on a lap. He's just exited the castle section. So Striker, your joint championship leader with your current session leader, Coolboy. He's taking a lot of curb there. but he's kept it within the bounds. Hasn't put it in the wall. So striker coming through 17 now. And now the long run through 18, 19 and 20. The long winding run through 18, 19 and 20. And now just keep it absolutely pinned to the floor. Minimal drag on the car. Open the DRS. Burn the battery, burn the fuel. And he's coming into the pit lane. And we've got 4.5 minutes left in this final part of qualifying, Jamie.
Yes. I feel like Jensen Button just agreeing with everything you say.
I think we are in our lull. Nope, I crossed you. I crossed you has invalidated his lap at turn 1. So he has got 4 minutes. So he's got time to get around and start another lap. Whether he has the fuel to go back to back, who knows? Jaddy definitely won't, as he's down on his lap. So a few people on outlaps. Maniac will be the first car to start his final run. In the Alpine. Alpine currently leading the Constructors' Championship. The Combined Constructors' Championship, that is. So.
Oh, I thought they were leading this one. Looks like Crossview's invalidated on another lap. I don't know what tyres he's on, whether he's on...
He's on the soft.
They are fresh tyres. Okay, I thought they would have been... I thought they might have been his 1 lap old ones, but it looks like he's just invalidated, so he'll most likely go again, considering he's still got his ERS turned off. I'm surprised he hasn't turned his ERS back on. Maybe he's coming into the pit lane, but that'll be very tight if he is coming into the pit lane. If he doesn't want to get out. He is. That's going to be extremely tight then.
Yeah, he's going to be pushing the timer. So you want to get out there as soon as possible. But
Maniac goes purple sector 1.
He has. So Maniac looking very quick through sector 1. But it's sector 2 where you find all of your time. So he has to get this right.
Through sector 1 and slowest car through sector 2. So yellow flag. There's a Red Bull going slow.
Letting a car through.
Yeah, he was. Yep. As QV Tuxie goes 2/10 quicker than Maniac did through sector 1. So QV Tuxie has now got the fastest first sector. The Haas car is starting to come on strong in this final part of qualifying.
Yeah, well, they've shown all qualifying how strong they have been, even on the harder compound. So it's not a surprise to anyone seeing what we've witnessed, as Grandson Nips has crashed in the castle section right above Jaddy, and see what has happened. And he's hit the left-hand wall, the metal barrier.
While all that was going on, Maniac did go third fastest with a 40.1, as QV Tuxie's up by 0.6 of a second, so he's obviously made a mistake on his first lap. As he comes down the back straight now, DRS wide open, running up to the line. I think he's going to go fastest here, and he actually doesn't. He goes second still 0.2 off Coolboy, so Coolboy isn't coming out again. He's obviously done his time. He doesn't think anyone can beat it. Have to see how that goes. Striker's set a 35 dead to the first sector, so he's only half a tenth off of what QV Tuxie did in the first sector. Quiet Cake didn't quite catch his first sector, as Cross U has invalidated his outlap, so he's going to be very tight here to get another lap in, because Striker is most likely going to get there with 10 seconds to go, and he's definitely not 10 seconds behind, so I don't think Cross U is actually going to get a lap in here.
Ooh. He would have had to have already started the straight to get a lap time in. Well, if he does, it's going to be line ball.
Really, actually.
It's going to be line ball, I reckon.
Striker
Striker,
goes fourth
E4.
fastest with a 40.2.
Identical time to grandson use.
Kivituxi's up again by 2/10. Crossed you as he comes 3, 2, 1, and he hasn't made it.
Missed
He's just
it.
missed out.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. As Jaddy has got, he's got turns 5 and 6 all wrong. He's now missing a front wing.
All of Haas's hopes now lay on Kivituxi, but with his battery almost depleted, I don't think he's going to go faster on this lap. Considering he was down by 600ths in the second sector, I don't think he's going to be able to improve. His battery is now hit 0, and he does not improve.
He lost 2/10 or a tenth and a half just by being low on battery.
As Jaddy's lost his front wing, so that is his session over. Skiddow Peak is done. He stayed in the pit lane. Quiet
Grimes.
Cake is over. Grimes is the only one left. Realistically, still on a lap. Striker is up by a 10th, actually. So this could put him into the third position if he can complete this lap with decent amount
Grimes
of
is up by
battery.
8.5 tenths, Jamie. In the Aston
This
Martin.
could be on for Grimes.
That's going to put him
Especially
right up
'cause
there
he's
in the
got
top 5.
full battery.
Let's see what he can put up on the board. He's got a lot of battery left, so that's not going to phase him. Opens the DRS all the way up to the line. Where does he put himself? He puts a P8. So the grid looking very tight.
Striker ran out of fuel. Striker ran out of fuel just before the line, so he had to abort his lap. Jaddy's in the garage, he's not going to go better. Quiet Cake is down by 5 seconds, so he ain't going better. I just wish he'd crossed the line so we could get this session started quicker, but you know.
A Cool Boy. Cool Boy takes pole position for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here in Baku for round 7 with a 139.504, which is a solid lap time, and he'll share the front row with Kivituxi in the Haas instead of 139.721, and those two comfortably ahead of the rest of the field.
Yes.
So, it's looking ominous if Maniac and all those and co behind don't stay in the DRS. But there you go, Cool Boy taking pole position for the Aston Martin, 139.504 claims him that pole position award. Kivituxi on the front row alongside him in the Haas. Maniac and Striker take up the second row, Grandson Lips and Jaddy on the third row, Skiddaw Peak and Grimes on the fourth row, and Quiet Cake and iCross Dew, who ran out of time to set a lap time in Q3, sharing the fifth row between them. So all that is left now is 26 laps of hard, clean racing around the streets of Baku. So as we eagerly await the cars to get ready on the grid. And I'll let you have the race start, Jamie, and I'll run us through the grid.
Fun. I kept pressing the wrong button there to unmute my mic because I was just watching a little bit of TikTok and tried not to yawn, but I failed that. So
Well, while we're waiting, I'll actually get the Twitch stream up, and we will see what's going on over there. They have started. They are 6 laps in, and it is Nickman in the Alpine from Darkness Abyss and the Stig, OSRL Kyo and Maloney 96 rounds out the top 5. So that is what is going on in Tier 3. But here we go. So Cool Boy taking pole position in the Aston Martin for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for round 7 of Season 3 of the Oceania Series Racing League. Kivituxi is joining him on that front row in the Haas car. Maniac and Striker share the second rank and third and fourth respectively. Grandson Nips in P5. He will be on that medium compound tyre. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets away as Rolling Thunder and That's Tough Chef have a bit of a collision and get disqualified from the formation lap. Chatty in P6, he'll be in the Alfa Romeo coming off the soft compound tyres. Skidor Peak, he is 7th in the Alpine on the medium compound tyres, as well as Grimes in P8. Quiet Cake in P9 on that red wall soft compound tyre. And I crossed you in P10 after failing to set a lap time in qualifying 3. He starts from P10 on the medium compound tyre. Izzy Bro, the first of the free choice runners in the Ferrari, the reserve tonight, will be.
Sorry to interrupt you there. Just quickly, the predicted pit stop strategy has just popped up. So for most of the soft runners predicting a 2-stop, most of the medium runners predicting a 1-stop. So I'll have to see how that strategy plays out, but yeah, continue, sorry.
Very, very interesting. So, one stop plays the 2-stop. What'll be quicker? Cheap Trick, P12 on the soft compound tyre with Jace F1 joining him on that soft compound tyre in 13th. It's not me, it's you, P14 on the medium compound tyre. Noodle and Marble, P15 after crashing out in Q1. Starts on the soft compound tyre. Argo starts out of P16 on the soft compound tyre. Rolling Thunder in P17 on the soft. And That's Tough Chef P18 on the medium compound tyre. And the last row, it's an all-medium affair with the 2 qualifying band drivers of Red Bull Moose and Matty Ross Watson. Round off your grid, and it's over to you, Jamie, for the 5 red lights.
Thank you, good sir. Interestingly, I'm just looking at the telemetry on board, and from what I can see, Red Bull Moose is the only driver to have underfueled his car significantly enough to the point where he doesn't actually currently have enough fuel to finish the race. So I have to see how that strategy pans out for him during this race. But we get set now for the 5 red lights as the lap timer has glitched on my screen, so that's fun. We're already on lap 2 according to the game. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights on the screen. And it is time for the lights out and away we go. It looks like a good start from Coolboy as the Haas driver gets a decent start as well of Tuxie. The Red Bull is down the inside of Maniac as
contact.
The Haas goes down the inside at turn 1.
That was Tuxie.
Coolboy has been shoved wide. Contact at turn 1. There's about 4 wide down the back as Jaddy gets through ahead of Striker in the AlphaTauri in the Alpine, and they're side by side down towards turn 3. Coolboy looking for a move on Grandson Nips, can't get it done as it looks like Maniac is down the inside of Jaddy into turn 3. Good move from the Alpine driver. There's a couple battles down the back as Izzy Bro looks at Skidor Peak as we get towards down the back of the field. People starting to settle into a rhythm already down here, taking it easy at the start, which is a good strategy here at Azerbaijan.
Yeah, so a chaotic start, a lot of bumping and hustling and hip and shouldering.
Sorry, Striker has just driven into the back of Jaddy, and Cross U takes advantage of that. Straight up into P7 for the Haas driver as Striker completely outbraked himself, most likely has wing damage as well on that Tauri.
It's not showing.
Not good for you in terms of your drivers, but we carry on. As I think that was Izzy Bro looking at a move on Skidor Peak. Doesn't go for the move down into that corner because it's impossible. Matty Ross Watson gets past as crossed you, and Jaddy swap positions. There's a bit of contact on the exit there as Jaddy tries to defend his position. They're going to go side by side down the back straight as crossed you gets ahead. There's a yellow flag in sector 3 is Maniac,
that's a car round. It's Grimes. Oh, he's taking a heap of cars with him. Oh dear Lord, virtual safety. This has to be a full
crash.
Oh my word!
Crash.
Oh, safety car, safety car, safety car. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, guys. So 6 cars just retired. Quiet Cake, Skidor Peak, Izzy Bro, Striker, Maniac, Jaddy, and Grimes all out of the race on the first lap. What in the world has occurred?
I'm speechless. I saw on the broadcast shot, I saw an Aston Martin, which looked like he was facing the wrong way on the exit of that fast chicane, and that's a blind corner. So coming around there, they had absolutely no idea what was pointing towards them, and it turns out it was the Aston Martin of Grimes, and well, and it was just an absolute explosion of confetti, and just like that, we're down to 13 runners.
That was a very, very, very interesting start as Tuxie gets to the lead now, as I believe it was first who's actually caused that. I'm not sure who, I can't remember who was actually no, it wasn't first, sorry, I'm off my head. But I can't wait for the stewards' reports tonight. They're going to have a lot of fun trying to decipher that.
Yeah.
And the meme central chat's going to be on fire in the Discord tonight with the reports.
It was just a case of a chain reaction. You know, so pretty much it's just one car gets it wrong, another car goes into him, he then goes across the track, that leaves even less space for other cars, and then, well, everyone just piles in, and basically you have to hit the brakes well before you get to the incident to, you know, have any chance of avoiding it, as QV Tuxie and Coolboy are taking advantage of the safety car to come in for those medium compound tyres. But wow, what a start to this race.
Did my message get auto-deleted? Sorry, no, it's there. Brilliant. Well, that's fun. Epic never mind. As Cursed You has managed to go from 10th to 2nd in 2 laps here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
And Grandson Nips has gone from, I think it was 5th, to the lead, starting on that meeting on the day. He was in 2nd, coming out of the 2nd corner.
Yeah, he had a great start in that Red Bull. He was down the inside of, I believe it was Skidau Peak in the Alpine, or whoever started 3rd. I'm just trying to find who it was. Yeah, it was Maniac. He was down the inside of in the Alpine. He is currently out of the race, obviously due to that massive incident, which is why we're under safety car. But that's the first time in league racing I've ever seen a gigantic pile-up since I was involved in one last season in Zandvoort. There was like a 4-car pile-up on the bank section, and I was involved in that, which wasn't fun. So I know how these guys feel.
Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow. Obviously not completing the first lap, especially if you're up the top of the championship like Striker. You know, with Coolboy still in the race, he's going to lose a heap of points to him unless Coolboy crashes out as well. But biggest movers are Argo, who's up 12 positions from P16 to P4 in the Williams, and Rolling Thunder, and that's Tough Chef, also up 11 spots apiece, P17 and P18 respectively, up to P6 and 7. What a fantastic drive from those two. And Coolboy, he's lost 4 spots, but he's already made a pit stop onto that medium tyre, so he will be all gravy to go to the end of the race. Those tyres will be screaming a little bit, but he's made that pit stop, and he can now go all the way to the end. As Red Bull Moose is back into the pit lane, putting on a set of medium compound tyres, getting rid of the hards. And this will help him as well, being under fueled. He'll be able to get that fuel back. So the only two who stayed out on the softs are Rolling Thunder and Argo, which is interesting. So while we are trundling around on a safety car, which should be going green at the end of this lap, in the Tier 3 competition, they're coming up to the halfway point. It's still Nick Man from Darkness Abyss, but it's Toddy and Maloney fighting for that final podium position. So there we go. So it's all kicking off over on the Tier 3 stream, over on the Twitch channel. Be sure to pop in there, say hi, tell them we sent you over. And
Tell them we sent you.
That's it.
Okay.
And let them know what happened. Let them know what happened. So, because that's the craziest start to a race I think I have ever seen. What's that? How many cars did we say were out? 6.
7.
7.
I think.
Yes, 7. 7 cars out at one section of the track.
I took a clip of it. I'm just looking back at it now. On the track map, it looks like it was Grimes, and Grimes got loose, and that hit into Maniac, and then it was sort of just a chain reaction with all the cars behind being unable to avoid it, and just everyone smashing into each other, especially the cars that came through under the yellow flags, not realizing that there was cars stopped right there. Obviously in OSRL we have the no ghosting to make it a bit more realistic to what it is like in real life. So people just didn't go through the accident. So, but that provides more entertainment. As speaking of entertainment, let's go racing.
That's it. So safety car is coming in at the restart, and the pace controller is in the hands of Grandson Nips in the Red Bull. We're on board with QV Tuxie. I think it's QV Tuxie. No, it's Across G, and Grandson Nips is gone. He's gone early. And he's somewhat caught Across G napping. He's half a second gone up the road with QV Tuxie, some 7/10 behind his teammate. And the field is definitely spread out a bit more compared to what it was at the end of that last lap.
So we need some racing laps in this race.
Cool boy, all over the back of Argo.
Cheap Trick and Jace F and Matty Ross Watson, sorry. Side by side down into turn 2. Looks like Cheap Trick's going to easily defend that inside and keep that 9th place from Matty Ross Watson. But Matty looks to get the switch back as Jace F1 goes round the outside of That's Tough Chef. That Tough Chef not having a good restart. Looks like he may have a problem because he is falling backwards in this race. Whether or not, as Matty Ross Watson and the Tough Chef collide, I think That's Tough Chef maybe has wing damage or something, because he is dropping like a fly through this field as the leaders start to pull away from Cool Boy.
Yeah, so 1.4 seconds between QV Tuxie and Cool Boy. He's going to want to close to within that 1 second if he wants to get a piece of that DRS in 2 laps time. Obviously no DRS for 2 laps after the safety car. So
just keeping my eye on Cheap Trick and Matty Ross Watson, as these two are currently the closest battle on track. As That's Tough Chef has crashed. I crossed you, has hit the wall.
Oh no.
He's lost it in the same place as just before.
Oh, and he's in the middle of the track.
His nightmare weekend goes from bad to worse as Matty Ross Watson had to take avoiding action.
Wow. This has been a wild start. We've got another safety car. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Pit. And Rolling Thunder. So Argo and Rolling Thunder in off the soft tyres. You'd expect they'd be going to the mediums or the hards. Looks like Argo does have
gone to the hard
tyres prepared. As That's Tough Chef is also coming into the pit lane. So the Williams double stacking. Rolling Thunder's onto the mediums. What does That's Tough Chef go onto? The softs.
Wow, that is that's bold.
That's a bold strategy there. He's obviously expecting some more safety cars to come out to aid his cause.
And to be honest, I'd be with him on that.
Very early if he's trying to get those to the end of the race. I believe that it's probably impossible to get to the end of the race without them literally exploding. So we'll have to see how that strategy plays out for him.
Yes, he'll definitely be going soft to the end. Although softs at their best, you probably get about 5 laps of raw pace out of them, and then it's a pretty steep drop off until about lap 8, lap 9, before they're absolutely screaming to be taken off. So it's definitely a bold call.
Yeah.
So it is grandson nips from QV Tuxie from Coolboy, who's back up into third. JSF1 finds himself sitting in fourth with Cheap Trick rounding out the top five. Matty Ross Watson all the way up into sixth place from last on the grid. It's nominated to P7 in the Ferrari, and there's a pair of McLarens of Noodle and Marble and Red Bull Moose. And then Argo rounds out the top 10. He's on the hard tyres. Interesting choice. Rolling Thunder P11, and that's Tough Chef on that soft tyre, as we mentioned previously, in P12. So there, that is your running order at the moment. We have lost I Crossed You, Quiet Cake, Skittle Peak, Izzy Bro, Striker, Maniac, Jaddy, and Grimes, all in the same part of the racetrack, believe it or not. A separate incident for crossed, but it was still in the same section of racetrack. So,
Yes, indeed it was. And it's a bit unfortunate for I Crossed You. He'd had shown that he had the pace tonight to mix it with the top two. Just a simple mistake, and that's all it takes around this track, especially with it being so tight and fast to that final section. It's just one little mistake, you lose the back end slightly, and that's it. That's your race over. And Quiet Cake, Skidal Peak, Izzy Bro, Striker, Maniac, Jada, and Grimes all found that out the hard way when they came flying in there, and there was a massive accident. But that's just Formula One racing around Baku, so you got to take it easy, but also take it hard at the same time. Take a measured approach to the Grand Prix, and the results will come if you're just a bit patient.
that's it. Patience, and that's one thing I told my boys down at AlphaTauri is patience is key around here. Around a tight, twisty circuit where the walls are just a tiny margin for error away from ending your race. You just have to be patient and pick your poison and pick your moment oh, it's Coolboy. Coolboy lost the back end coming into the castle section, and he's lost his front wing in the castle section under safety car conditions. Well, he hasn't lost the entirety of it, he's lost an end plate. Oh dear, Coolboy. You've got the pace, and you've got 19 laps to go. So there's plenty of time to get back up there, but it's going to be quite tough for him now with that front wing change. As the safety car's in. Safety car is in this lap, so cool. That's going to hurt Coolboy so much. He's definitely missing an end plate. And once again, we're right on board with QV Tuxie as we wait for grandson Nips to get this one back underway and green flag running in that Red Bull, as he is violently trying to warm those tyres and keep some temperature in them.
Will they stick closer in this time? I mean, they're a lot closer to the back of the car, but will they get the launch? That's the thing. The top three separated by half a second there. They're staying really close to the back of grandson. Which way and which... There he goes. He has launched the car, and they've spread out a bit. Half a second as Coolboy immediately goes to the pit lane. That's to be expected to replace that front wing of his. So everyone's going to move up a position off the restart, and the top two have got already a second gap to third place. Make that 2 seconds now.
Oh, Matty Ross Watson down the inside of Cheap Trick, turn 2, opportunistic move there from Matty Ross Watson.
All the two McLarens side by side. Red Bull Moose hits the wall at turn 2, being squeezed onto the curb by his teammate. That's not going to go down very well tonight in the team chats after this race. That's Tosh Chef looks to make a move on his teammate. He does go down the inside. What a dive bomb, but his teammate has the better line and keeps it in that 9th place.
Oh, and he's got straight on.
His teammate's in the wall.
Oh, Argo. And that front wing is gonna need replacing. Although
McLaren's still really close together, but looks like he's back
Matty
out
Ross
of it.
Watson.
Matty Ross Watson Gets past Jace F1. He looks to have made a mistake somewhere as he's now, Matty Ross has got to close down the 3-second gap to the cars in front. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 2, as that's Argo who's hit the wall at the castle section. He's kept the car mobile, but it's going to cost him a lot of time.
I think he might have gone down the escape road. He might have gone in too hot and went down the escape road in the castle section. But QV Tuxie, look at him, he's right on the back of that Red Bull. Look at the straight line speed that he's got just from that toe. And now they're side by side coming down to the line. There's an absolute drag race. And the house is only just ahead. They're dead even. And it is the last of the late breakers. It's QV Tuxie. Oh, he's got very wide. And Grandson is still on the inside down into turn 2. This is where it tightens up. Oh, QV Tuxie keeps it out the wall, and Grandson Nips gives him the respect and the space. And QV Tuxie takes the lead of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix with a brilliant move around the outside of turn 2. And now Grandson Nips.
They both have been burning their ERS though. They're both under 50%. So that could be a game for Matty Ross Watson to play, is try and save his ERS while catching. Because if these two battle, he can definitely take advantage of that. But QV Tuxie is definitely in a better position here, considering Grandson Nips started on those tyres and QV Tuxie pit onto these tyres under the first safety car. So he has about a 3-lap tyre advantage in terms of their freshness, and he's using that to good advantage at the moment, already putting 1.2
Oh,
seconds
Grandson Nips hit the wall. Grandson Nips just hit the wall. He's hit the wall coming out of the castle section.
Have damage? Unlikely, as it's not showing, but there could be that invisible damage this game loves to give you. And it looks like there is, because he's losing time. Yep, it looks like he does have damage in that Red Bull. Matty Ross Watson is going to be loving what he's seeing the Red Bull struggling and getting closer to him.
Yeah, and Grandson Nips was already at a disadvantage. Oh, and that's tough, Chef. He's crashed just before 16. Oh, and he's right on the racing line. Oh, wow.
Safety car.
And it's the third safety car for the night.
One of the top two,
dear.
QV Tuxie's going slow, trying to see what Grandson Nips is going to do. Grandson Nips pulls into the pit lane.
Grandson Nips has to.
He's played his card. Matty Ross Watson also into the pit lane as well.
Jace.
And Jace.
Is in.
A lot of people pitting. Interesting.
Cheap trick.
I mean,
staying
Grandson
out.
Nips had,
It's not me, it's you staying out.
damage, so he's
So
pitting anyways.
So top 4 staying out.
Top 4 staying out. Matty Ross Watson onto the soft tyres.
Cool Boy stays out. Rolling Thunder pits. I believe Argo will pit as well. Grandson Nips on the hards. Ooh, that's...
Yeah. Well, I mean, he had
That's
no
interesting.
choice. He started on the mediums. The softs can't make it to the end from here, he believes. So hard tyres only way to the end, he says. So he does. As that's Tough Chef leads the session, as there's another horrible. No, oh god. Need to go to bed. I'm tired.
Well, 3 safety cars in 10 laps. And we've had, what would that be? Probably about 4 or 5 racing laps?
Not even, I don't think.
No, probably 7. I don't think DRS has been activated yet.
I don't believe it has either.
So we've had 10 laps of no DRS. That's a first for me. That I've only ever seen that once before, and that was in the social practice on Monday night, which was absolutely crazy if you were there. But yeah, and just like that, we're down to 11. I'm speechless. I am honestly speechless. We had, what was it? Basically a quarter of the field, just a bit over a quarter of the field taken out on the first lap.
Yeah.
And then they've been picking themselves off one by one since then. And
Yeah.
we're down to 11. So now, if you finish, you will score points, as points go down to P15 this season, just like last season. So,
Yep.
just gotta stay alive.
I mean, that's difficult for me because last league race I did, I passed the safety car accidentally and got disqualified. And if I just finished the race, I would have been leading the championship. But, you know, stuff happens and got to try and win it the hard way now.
That's it.
I would just, this article I've just spotted online shows that according to the rumours, there could be an announcement of a return to Kailami in South Africa.
Ooh.
Announced in the coming months.
Interesting.
Because F1, instead of trying to get a second race in China, because they were trying to look at a second race in China for some reason, don't know why.
Well, why don't they go back to Malaysia?
Because Malaysia doesn't want to host a Grand Prix anymore. I don't really know, but like,
Alright. Fair play, fair play.
But they should focus on Kailami first, not freaking China.
Yes. Very, very true. So, well, it's QV Tuxi, the lone Haas now. He's got the weight of his team on his shoulders for the rest of tonight in the Tier 4 competition, and followed by Cheap Trick, who has that same issue with the weight on his shoulders. It's not me, it's you, the same. Red Bull Moose, he's still got his teammate in the race. Matty Ross Watson, he's still got his teammate in the race. He's on the soft tyres as well. Cool Boy, he's doing it on his own. Grandson Nips is doing it on his own. Jace is doing it on his own. And so is Argo. A lot of one-car teams. The only two-car teams is Rolling Thunder, the Mercedes, and the McLarens. As we now await to see what QV Tuxi does now. We have a new starter, new safety car restarter at the head of the queue. It's not Grandson Nips anymore, and he's gone early. He's gone really early. So QV Tuxi got 1.3 seconds over Cheap Trick. Oh my!
Nips battling down the straight before the restarts. Grandson Nips is going to look at a move. He does, but I don't think he's got the confidence yet in those hard compound tyres to be able to do a dive bomb. As Matty Ross Watson looks on Red Bull Moose's, the Red Bull Aston Martin. There's an Aston Martin round. Cool Boy's been turned at turn 2. And he tries to turn around early, and he does, as Noodle Marble and Roland Thunder get caught up in the incident as well, and both have to reverse as the Aston Martin's still round, and they've cost themselves a lot of time. As
and the Ferrari, Mercedes, and McLaren. Oh
something
dear.
Happened there.
Up at turn 3, 3 wide.
Out now, but QV Tuxi has 3.2 seconds on Cheap Trick already as Grandson Nips passes the Ferrari, if it's not me, it's you, into turn 5.
Oh, Jace, don't do it.
He lets him go back past, maybe in a league. I don't know what's happened with the Ferrari here, but he's slowing down. Maybe he's trying to get, or let Cool Boy back past. Maybe he's the one that tagged Cool Boy into turn 2.
Not
so maybe
too
that
sure.
is what's occurring down there. I'm not sure about that one, sorry. As Matty Ross Watson is all over the back of Red Bull Moose 1.
Yeah, obviously the fresh softs really helping out Matty. Giving him the nice grip that he needs to close up onto the back of the McLaren driver on that final step of the podium. Yeah, 3.6 second lead for QV Tuxi, 1 lap after the safety car restart. He's then got a further 4.3 seconds back to Red Bull Moose in P3, and then it's Matty Ross Watson. He's 9/10 back from the McLaren as Grandson Nips comes past, and Matty Ross Watson is into the pit lane for I don't know what reason, but it's now Grandson Nips chasing after Red Bull Moose on the hard compound tyres. JSF1 is promoted to 5th, Argo is up into 6th place, Coolboy's down in 7th. He's had an absolutely torrid time in this race as we cross the halfway point. Rolling Thunder P8, Noodle and Marble down in P9. He's sitting right behind him. As we got Fiery Hour in the chat cheering on his boy Cheap Trick. And it's a match he was in the pit lane, he did have damage.
Matty
Oh,
Ross Watson
Kiwi
up the
Tuxie.
escape road.
Kiwi Tuxie just nudged the wall.
Ooh.
So, gaps
It would be the most
spreading out.
F1 thing ever, though, for us to finally get DRS and no one be within 1 second.
Yeah.
Like, we haven't had a
Yes.
DRS activated lap yet so far this race, and the one lap we do, everyone's probably going to be outside of 1 second, but I don't think that's the case because Grandson Nips is all over the back of Red Bull Moose 1. Those hard compound tyres working well. I think I might have spotted a little bit of damage on his front wing. No, I'm just going colorblind. As he looks to get a better exit, looks like he has not got the better exit as Red Bull Moose is. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. That is Noodle Marble spun round at the awkward left-hander. And thankfully, we have DRS for the first time in this race as Grandson Nips and Red Bull Moose 1. Side by side down the main straight, both burning the ERS. Interesting decision from Grandson Nips to go for the move. He's going to try and send it down the inside into turn 1.
Ooh.
And there's a little bit of contact. And he just has to sort of back out of that one to avoid, to keep his race alive. He's going to get the DRS advantage though. Down the second straight. Will Red Bull Moose defend? They are both burning their battery still. It doesn't look like Grandson Nips is going to be close. No, he is going to get close enough. Down the inside he goes. Does he make the move stick this time? They go side by side through turn 3.
This is great wheel-to-wheel
McLaren's got
action.
the inside for the next corner. Great wheel-to-wheel action here. As he said, the Red Bull has to go wide. They're still side by side, but it looks like Grandson Nips is just going to have to... not just going to have to. Red Bull Moose is going to have to concede in that one as Grandson Nips takes the final podium place. He's still going to gain 4 seconds on Cheap Trick and then another 7.8 seconds on QV Tuxie before he reaches the lead of this race. But he looks to be going to the end. QV Tuxie may still have to pit. So this is going to be an interesting how the rest of this race plays out. As we now have got a little bit of a train here as Jace, Argo and Coolboy all within 1 second of each other. So all going to be getting the advantage of DRS down this back straight, and Red Bull Moose looks to be heading that train of 4 cars.
Yep, so Red Bull Moose, after being passed by Grandson Nips, has fallen out of 1 second pretty swiftly, and now he's got Jace all over the back of him, who has Argo all over the back of him, and Coolboy is all over the back of Argo. And they are all going to get a nice tasty bite of DRS. And Jace is going to be trying to get Red Bull Moose. Argo is going to be trying to get Jace. And Coolboy is going to be trying to get Argo. This could get interesting down into turn 1 as Jace lining up behind Red Bull Moose, tucking in for that slipstream, activates the ERS. Got the DRS open. He pulls to the inside. Does he? Oh, last of the late breakers. Red Bull Moose. He keeps it. Keeps a nice wide line as Coolboy is desyncing everywhere. I'm not sure where he actually is. Apparently,
ahead of him somehow.
Apparently he's 5th. Not too sure what was happening there, but nonetheless, Coolboy has gone from 7th to 5th in the matter of 2 corners. And he's looking all over the back of Red Bull Moose. Oh, he's going to try to go around the outside. That's not what you want to do in that section of the track. Oh, Red Bull Moose. I don't know how he managed to keep it out of the wall there. But that's some fantastic driving there from those two, keeping it out of the wall. And, well, Coolboy now sets off after Grandson Nips, who is on those other common tyres. And QV Tuxie, he's got an 11.6 second lead over Cheap Trick. That's absurd.
Grandson Nips is on his way though. He does have the DRS as Jace F1 looks to the inside of Red Bull Moose. So Jace is going to try and get Red Bull Moose down this next straight, I would assume.
Ooh, Argo.
He's not got the best of run. Argo does have a better run. So Jace has managed to lose, I think it was half a second through that corner, but he's managed to gain a lot of it back through that second part, and Jace has 90% compared to Red Bull Moose's 50, and Red Bull Moose looks to be struggling on those 10-lap-old tyres. Will he pit That is the question. He's indicating he's going to the left. Does he go into the pit lane though? That is the question. Yes, he does. Yes, Red Bull Moose pulls into the pit lane. He's pitting for a set of tyres to take him to the end of this Grand Prix, as that releases Jace and Argo to try and catch up after Coolboy. As Cheap Trick has got a whopping 40% more than Grandson Nips. Grandson Nips has been burning his ERS trying to catch up, but that's not going to help him now. He's going to try and get past him and start to gain on QV Tuxie. Sorry.
Yeah, and he's gonna have to gain.
Well.
He's gonna have to gain at least over a second a lap to Tuxie to have any chance of even having a sniff at winning this race. Unless a safety car comes out, I think, and QV Tuxie doesn't make a mistake, then I'd say QV Tuxie has it in the bag. But it's not over till that checkered flag is waved, as they say. And yeah, Grandson Nips. He's looking quick on those hard compound tyres. Oh, as he went wide, and he's absolutely clattered the wall and lost an end plate off that Red Bull. Oh no, Grandson Nips, what have you done? He's absolutely clattered the wall through that sweeping left-hander, and now Coolboy will be licking his lips and saying thank you. And there he goes.
There he goes.
Just slides on through down the inside, gives him a little wave on the way past. And once again, everyone's going to jump up another spot. So, there we go.
Silver side, only silver lining for Grandson Nips. He can go into a set of mediums or softs to the end of the race from here and still make it. So
that he can.
He is able to go into the faster tyres as Coolboy now looks to get past Cheap Trick. Cheap Trick's holding his own up here in second place, but I think his brave defense is going to come to an end now as Coolboy is going to go down the inside, brake slightly later, and that is P2 for the Aston Martin Cognizant Formula 1 team. I don't know why I use their full name, but you know, that's good from them. Up into second place, good championship points, as Jace F1 is still lagging a little bit behind, about 5 seconds back from Cheap Trick, but Cheap Trick and QV Tuxie do, I think, still have to pit. I'm not sure about Coolboy. So Coolboy may be able to make it to the end of the race.
No, Cheap Trick and QV Tuxie have stopped, but I'm not sure what tyres they started on. But Argo continues to hassle and harry the rear wing of the Alpha Tauri of Jace F1, who is doing his absolute best to try and catch the Alfa Romeo of Cheap Trick, who is 4.5 seconds up the road. But well, the gaps are few and far between. We've got 11 and 12 seconds between P1 and P2 and P5 and P6.
Oh, Argo. Argo, bro. Nearly another one at the final 2 corners.
That is dangerous.
It is very dangerous.
That corner is dangerous.
No wonder they don't have DRS through there. Holy crap.
Yeah. If they're losing it without DRS and they're getting maximum downforce on that rear wing, you can imagine what it's like with DRS, having no downforce on that rear wing.
Yeah, it'll be crazy.
That'd just be, yeah. And Grandson Nips, he's already caught the back of Noodle and Marble. And we've got 8 laps to go in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We have 11 runners. We have lost 9 cars, all in the same section of track. Those cars being That Stuff Chef, iCross G, Quiet Cake, Skittle, Peak, Izzy Bro, Striker, Maniac, Jaddy, and Grimes. All DNF'd. So, it's, well, it's been nothing short of a massacre here in Azerbaijan.
Sorry, I keep trying to cut in there. My bad, apologies. So, the top 6 all started on the soft tyres. So the top 6 legally, by the rules, can all finish on that same set. So can Matty Ross Watson and Grandson Nips. Basically, everyone can finish on the current set of tyres they're on. It's just whether or not they can actually know. Roland, it's not me, it's you, has only used medium tyres. He will have to pit again for either the soft or the hard before the end of the race. Otherwise, everyone else has gone to 2 different sets of tyres during this Grand Prix.
Ooh. Interesting. So, Argo, he's fallen out of that 1 second. Argo has fallen out of that 1 second of Jace F1. But Grandson Nips, look at Grandson Nips coming after Noodle and Marble. He's going to have the DRS, he's going to absolutely breeze past the McLaren. And he's going to be able to take the racing line into turn 1. And that is as easy as it gets when passing another car. Nice bout of DRS. And then just slip back onto the racing line. As Jace F1 is now only 2 seconds behind Cheap Trick. He's been slowly reeling in the Alfa Romeo, and you know he's now possibly looking at a podium.
Speaking of slowly reeling in, Coolboy has managed to close 1 second on Tuxie.
He's gonna have to do a lot more than that over the next handful of laps to have any chance of getting the win. So as Cheap Trick's gap to Coolboy exceeds that 10-second mark, Jace, if he can have a good corner here through 16, then he could well be within a shout of DRS. As Cheap Trick is taking that very well. He's actually gained time on Jace, then Jace gains it back through 17. Now what does Argo do? He's 6/10 back. We know how powerful DRS is. Can Argo get enough straight line speed to give him that extra push down the straight to get past? I don't think he will. He won't. He's still, half a second back. Ooh. Jace runs a little bit wide. That's going to open the door for Argo down into turn 2. Argo thinks better of it. Backs out of it. And lives to fight another day in the Williams. So, Jace F1 is hunting down Cheap Trick. Argo is hunting down Jace. And Grandson Nips is hunting them all down on those fresh, soft compound tyres. And Argo's got past Jace. Argo has passed Jace into turn 3. I think there was a mistake there from Jace, as it's submit to you. It's called it quits in the pit lane. So we now have half the field left running. So,
oh, sorry, I was busy on my phone trying to do something.
And look at Argo. Argo's now all over the back of Cheap Trick. Argo is on an absolute mission here. Argo, he's got the pace. He's definitely got the pace over these two. Cheap Trick on 16 lap old tyres compared to Argo's 9 lap old mediums.
Seconds. Oh my god.
So it's 10.1 seconds between first and second, 14.3 seconds between second and third, and then it's this little battle between Cheap Trick, 60 and Argo. And will Argo this time have enough straight line speed? Who knows? We're about to find out. As again, I think it's down to about half a second. The DRS not proving to be as powerful as first thought.
Matty Ross Watson as he passes Newland Marble, but Newland Marble was pulling into the pit lane anyway, so that made his move slightly easier. But still, good move from Matty Ross Watson up to 7th place for the Mercedes driver after starting 20th.
Yeah, Matty Ross Watson and Red Bull Moose. They started plumb last with quali bands. They managed to keep it clean and stay in the race, and they found themselves well in the top 10. So
biggest mover of the race, Matty Ross Watson, unsurprisingly up 13 spots. Argo's up 12. Jace is up 8, Cheap Trick up 9, Red Bull Moose is up 11, and Roland Thunder's up 7, Noodle Marble is up 6. Basically, everyone is up more than 5, apart from QV Tuxie is up 1, Cool Boy's down 1 spot, and Grandson Nips is down 1 spot.
Yeah. So, I think that just tells you the story of what's happened tonight.
Grandson Nips has got a good run on Jace F1. Is he going to try and go down the inside? No, he holds station, hopefully trying to get the good run out of this corner and get the DRS. But it looks like he may have actually got that run, but it looks like Jace also might have DRS on the car in front. It looks like he does.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Doesn't.
He just missed out. He only just missed out. We had Karma AU in the chat before, saying Cool Boy wins with Tuxie getting a puncture. So
there's a possibility. Tuxie's tyres are 18 laps old now, and he did nearly just hit the wall just then. Cool Boy is gaining at a rapid rate of knots, but his tyres aren't much better, so...
No, he's definitely 5 laps fresher, which does help. As Grandson himself, he looked down the inside of turn 3 on Argo, he just wasn't quite up far enough to get the Williams driver. But Grandson, he's looking so pacey on that soft compound tyre compared to the 11 lap old mediums of Argo.
Interestingly, still no penalties in this race.
It is quite tough to get a penalty around here, given the close proximity of the walls.
There's only been one exceeding track limits warning.
Not one warning.
No, there's 2 exceeding track limits warnings. One for Grimes on lap 1, and then there was one on lap 21 for Argo. But they're the only track limit warnings that have been handed out this entire race.
Wow.
All the other incidents have been crashes and terminal damage and warnings for people hitting each other in crashes.
Jesus.
Grandson Nips is currently 4 seconds down on his personal best due to being stuck in this traffic.
Wow.
The Cheap Trick is...
it's Argo! Oh, and there's a bit of damage. Who was that off of? Was that off Grandson Nips?
I think it was Argo, because Argo's pulling left. Yeah, it was Argo. Grandson Nips looks to be okay as he tries
here he comes. Here comes Grandson Nips. Look at him. He's absolutely charging up to the Alfa Romeo.
Cheap Trick has proved to be a difficult one to get past tonight, so he may struggle slightly trying to get past the Alfa Romeo. What he needs to do is save his battery down this straight and deploy it all down the next straight, but he doesn't look like he's doing it. He's trying to get it down this straight. Does he get close enough in the move? He's got an overlap. He's going to send it down the inside, and that is it. But
that's
from observation there, I think Grandson Nips has damage. He does. Grandson Nips has end plate damage on his front right.
I thought there might have been damage.
I mean, he'll still be miles quicker, I reckon, than Cheap Trick on his 19-lap-old mediums. But it'll be interesting to see how that affects his tyre wear.
Look at the gap up the front. Forward. 7 seconds now between Tuxie and Cool Boy. Tuxie might be managing tyre wear.
Probably is.
Oh, Grandson Nips has gone straight on at the castle. Oh dear. And he's reset the track.
Reset to track. You are allowed to do it there this weekend in turn 8, especially with the no ghosting. So they did put out in the stewards briefing, you are allowed to reset to track inside of turn 8, so that should be fine.
Yes, it is fine. I think the ruling was if you have to do more than a 3-point turn to get back going again, you are allowed to reset to track.
Yes.
So that was completely fine with what Grandson Nips did. But Jace has got DRS on Cheap Trick now. He's Jace being the next challenger to face up to Cheap Trick. Let's see if Jace can get through Cheap Trick without damage. This will yeah, like you said, Cheap Trick has been a bit of a barrier for everyone behind him.
That's true. Cheap Trick has been He's put up a sterling defence of that podium place. His tyres are definitely feeling the pain though now, so I definitely think the 7-lap-old difference will hopefully, for Jace's sake, be enough to elevate him onto the podium. Either that or Cheap Trick gets a puncture, and they are definitely probably in the puncture territory right about now, as they are very much running on the smell of an oily rag, those tyres, as the fastest lap at the moment currently going to Grandson Nips. That's the extra point for the fastest lap. Grandson Nips currently has it on those soft tyres. He is 40 seconds off the lead though, so he's a long way back. I mean, that doesn't matter, as long as he finishes the race, he'll get that point. But it's a good bonus for the Red Bulls.
It is, and you know, it could make all the difference come the end of the season if you're fighting for that championship. But here we go. So Jace F1, he's 7 tenths back from Cheap Trick. Now we've seen how we've seen DRS not be quite as effective as first thought before, but look at the run.
Jace has been smart. Jace has been smart though. He's got a lot more ERS than Cheap Trick does.
And there we go.
So he's able to burn it a lot more straight away, and that is Cheap Trick's defense of that P3 undone, unless there is something dramatic that happens down this next straight. I think Cheap Trick has lost that podium position, unfortunately. He put up a sterling defense. He's driven very well, especially on those 21-lap-old tyres, but I can't see him getting back past Jace F1 unless gets a mega run down there through this middle sector down that back straight, but those tyres will definitely be grip limiting him. And I think Cool Boy may have hit a wall, because he's dropped 2 seconds in the last couple laps.
As Tuxie's left the session, if you could quickly get him an invite.
Oh, that's not good. He's got 1 lap to run, 8 seconds.
I believe Tuxie's lagged out. You could get him an invite quick smart. That would be fantastic.
Trying to see what the AI is on. 65. I'll invite him as well. QV. Oh,
there we go, he's joined back. No,
better be quick to get into his car. His
no!
Pit.
His AI has boxed on the penultimate lap of this race.
Oh, that is a disaster.
The scenes here in Tier 4. Oh my lord.
Is he back in his car yet?
He is. Oh,
Cheap
that's
Trick
gonna sting.
Dropped positions as well. Cheap Trick's down to 5th now, so he's lost even more positions.
Oh, that's gonna sting.
That's gonna sting QV Tuxie. I mean, he's on the fresh tyres, but it's not gonna make a difference. It's the last lap of the race.
Yeah.
Cool Boy, if you're watching the stream, give QV Tuxie the win. Nah.
That's not how it works, unless it's an illegal overtake.
Unfortunately.
But look at this, Matty Ross Watson, he wants that podium spot. He's absolutely hassling and harrying the back of that AlphaTauri. That AlphaTauri has been under fire basically all night as Cheap Trick almost goes straight on. But oh my lord, Argo's on the back of Red Bull Moose. It's all kicking off on these last couple of laps, as they make their way through the castle section for the final time. And now there's one exit. There is one exit that matters now. Just the one exit. If you can get that exit right, then you're home and dry. And here we go, we're coming up to it.
DRS though, that's the problem.
Here comes.
Coolboy has won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
He has.
Very lucky win for him. QV Tuxie will be very disappointed. But we look to the battle for third now as Matty Ross Watson and Jace F1 battle it out. Jace has more ERS. That could play a definite role because
I'm riding on board with Matty.
ERS.
I reckon he's going to have enough
ERS to do it.
And Jace is going to take P3. And Grandson Nips gets Cheap Trick. on the final home stretch. And Grandson Lip State's P5, Cheap Trick P6, Red Bull Moose is going to hold on for P7, Argo finishes P8, Noodle and Marvel's going to hold on for P9, and Rolling Thunder, believe it or not, finishes last in P10. And that sounds weird, calling P10 last. That's
the way the cookie has crumbled tonight. I will have to skedaddle out of here as I've got to get to bed early because I start work.
No dramas.
Tomorrow morning. So
Thank you.
I won't be able to conduct interviews, but thank you for having me on.
No worries.
Thoroughly
Thank you.
enjoyed that race.
Thank you for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
All good, all good. I'll probably talk to you on Thursday for when we do Tier 1.
No dramas. Thank you for being the box with me, and thank you to everyone who has stuck around and supported the Tier 4 boys. So there we go. Cool Boy from QV Tuxi, from Jace, in a chaotic Tier 4 Azerbaijan Grand Prix for round 7 of Season 3, and it's, well, it's been chaotic. That's the only word that comes to mind. My driver of the day would have to be Grandson Nips. You know, he was up and down like a yo, but he always fought back hard. Or even Matty Ross Watson. Matty Ross Watson coming from the back of the field after a quali ban and finishing P4. That's a sterling effort, and with 3 stops as well. That's a sterling effort for Matty. So he is my driver of the day. So there we go. I'll quickly get the race director. And there we go. And there we go. So, well, that has been Tier 4 action for round 7 of the Oceania Series Racing League, brought to you by Pagney Advanced Simulations and Juju Energy. The action continues tomorrow night for Tier 2 on the Twitch channel OSRL Esports. Be sure to join Sandeezy and Red Bull Moose as they will take you through the Tier 2 action on Wednesday night, and I will be on track Thursday night for Tier 1. Same time on the Twitch is where you will find all that action for the upcoming nights. But that's all from me. I've been Terrell Bozza. I was with Jamie JW21, and this has been the Oceania Series Racing League, and we will see you next week on same place, same time.